what was the reason that you wanted to kind of shift into the service bureau industry? Was it just kind of like that natural next step, and like you said, who you're
I'm
with
allowed to
kind of like
curse.
guided you?
I'm allowed to
Hell
curse.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay. I was tired of getting fucked over by this other service bureau. They wasn't telling me nothing. I'm thinking that I'm getting something, but I'm not. And then it was a money situation. They held up my money, like a lot of it. And I was like, hell no, I'm about to get fucked over no more. I'm about to start my own shit.
Welcome to the Service Bureau Accelerator podcast, where we help tax professionals start and scale a successful service bureau.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Service Bureau Accelerator interview series. I am here with Shana and Jasmine and Ross. Ross, if you want to go ahead and get us started.
For sure. So welcome, Jasmine. Welcome, Shana. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining in. So if you guys want to maybe kick off the call, I don't know which one of you wants to open for us, but if you guys wanted to start, just kind of introduce yourselves, maybe a little bit of background on, you guys, your experience in the industry and what ultimately made you end up being here with Service Bureau Accelerator. Go ahead, Shana.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Shana Adams. I've been in the industry for professionally probably like 10 something years, but I was with the service bureau before. I started the service bureau back in 2019, 2020. I think it was 2019. Who I started under was not good at all. They didn't help out. They didn't do anything like that. So I went up under a friend of mine, and me and her, she was teaching me a different stuff. And she's like, girl, you doing good. So I'm about to put you on with my people. Then I met Baldy. Then I had contacted Jasmine because Jasmine was getting software from me. And I was like, I need some help because this is hard. And I know what you got, what it takes. So from there, we just been scaling, doing what we need to do. Jasmine has been a wonderful help, 100% a wonderful help. And we go from there.
Cool. Awesome. Jasmine, you want to introduce yourself, maybe share a little bit of your story as well?
Sure. I'm Jasmine Boney Henderson. I've been in the tax industry professionally for 8 years, almost 9 years. We started our service bureau together in 2022. So this will be our third kind of full year. The first year we were a sub-service bureau, and then we ventured out to just become our own service bureau. I think we've been scaling fairly quickly, faster than we probably thought we would. But we've come to the point where now we are starting to learn our value in the industry. And so being in the SBA program has really helped us kind of knock out our value asset propositions and things like that. So now we're starting to see where we can grow and even more. And so that's my initially, I really had no thoughts of being a service bureau. It really wasn't on my radar. I was just doing taxes, didn't really mind. And then, but now we're here. So
Awesome. I'm just kind of curious on that. So like, did Shana kind of like drag, like kind of
not
pull you
really
in? She's
drag
like,
me.
not drag, but like,
Not
yo,
really drag
come.
me. It was just like, hey, because she, like she said, she previously had a service bureau, and so she was moving, I guess, with her as a sub under her friend. Actually, it started with like a whole EFIN thing, and then she said, "Well, why don't we just partner?" And then I said,
That works. And then Shana, what was the reason that you wanted to kind of shift into the service bureau industry? Was just kind of like that natural next step, and like you said, who you're
I'm
with
allowed to
kind of like
curse.
guided you?
I'm allowed to
Hell
curse.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay. Because I was tired of getting fucked over
You can always
by other
curse on
service
these calls. What
bureaus.
do you mean? Sorry. Say that again.
I was tired of getting fucked over by this other service bureau. They weren't telling me nothing. I'm thinking that I'm getting something, but I'm not. And then it was a money situation. They held up my money, like a lot of it. And I was like, hell no, I'm about to get fucked over no more. I'm about to start my own shit. So that's what I went from there.
That's what it was. Yeah.
A lot of times it comes down to the money situation for sure.
"Oh, it's
Yeah.
always money."
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, it's pretty easy to avoid that. Is you just don't get greedy. Like Baldeep's, I love this
Exactly.
expression he said on the coaching calls many times, right? Greedy pigs get slaughtered. So that's what happens. Cool. So you guys have now been at it for a little while in our program, and there was like I mean, your guys' first year, you put up some pretty solid numbers on the board. And then last year there was some growth, but this past season was like huge, right? Your numbers looks like, I mean, these are pretty accurate. What I'm looking at here, you guys a little more than doubled your volume year over year. What's going on? What happened? What was the strategy? What'd you guys do? Share a little bit about that.
Jasmine, you can go because I want to say something, but I don't know if it's
Let's just say it.
the strategy is like honestly, as I said, I didn't know what I was doing and I needed the help. Jasmine is good at systems, putting shit in place, being organized. That's not me. That is not my expertise or whatever. It was more, and then we started understanding and knowing what people really want in this industry and start giving it to them. And then we start giving it to them, and then people start seeing us and like, oh, that's money bag. Oh, like, and then it just started going from there. I really think it was just like we had did this one photo shoot. The whole little thing is when we did that little thing and everybody was like, oh shoot, I want to be up under them or I want to get with them, see what they're doing. Then of course hate come with that too. But other than that, I guess we kind of market to the right people, but now we changing up the whole shift. Everybody not for us. And once we get the right, then everything starts scaling, especially when we seeing the people that we are getting up under us. They're accomplishing their goals. They're doing the things that we have taught and mentored them to do. That makes us like, okay, now we doing our job. We doing what we're supposed to be doing. And then volume speaks.
Right. So
I think one thing I've noticed from you guys over the past, I've seen you guys grow from and where you came from and everything like that. I think one of the things I noticed immediately, you correct me if I'm wrong, I feel you just got more clarity on what you're selling.
I would say that's definitely a part of it. But and one thing that we're trying to work on, that we're constantly working on, is a lot of times for I don't really know the best term for this, so I'm just spew it and y'all can fancy it up. I don't know. A lot of times we are the second choice. Like somebody went somewhere else last year, got royally screwed over, and then they want to come back. Dang, I should have went with you the first time. Well, yeah, duh. But so I see a lot of that, and what we're working towards now is we don't want to be that. Like we want to be the person you went to the first time. Like you should have picked right the first time. And so we do see a lot of that. And we're trying to shift more so as the front runner. But what I see that's different from us is we lead with value. I don't think we did it in the beginning. I don't think you ever gonna get a free software or a $77 software out of us ever again. If you can't pay the price, I'm sorry. Because like we saw that we would sign up so many people and those numbers were not matching what we need them to match. So when we did increase our pricing, we did lead with value. We got more quality EROs versus just people who wanted to jump on the service bureau. And I say all the time, I would take 20 EROs putting up the numbers that we're putting them up versus 100 EROs and still only 20 of them doing something because 80 of them got free software. Like it's a waste of my time and effort.
Well, you said a couple of interesting things there. The first comment was you feel like, hey, you're the second choice. And you know what? That happens. And a lot of times they'll go somewhere like they like, hey, this looks really great. And maybe it's a price thing or maybe it's whatever. So they'll go find another solution and then realize they got fucked over or got fucked up. That happens to us too. Like how many people have said, oh, I should have joined you guys, but I went there because they offered something. They offered the same thing. I'm making quotes, the same thing for $1,000 cheaper. And it wasn't actually what they thought it was, right? So that's going to happen regardless. A lot of that just comes up when you start putting in pricing. To your second thing, leading with value, and you guys do a good job on the branding and the marketing side. And I think the more you guys push out that type of content and that type of value on the front end, it'll just naturally progress where you become that first choice more and more.
Yeah. Especially the other thing too is like the amount of like how much more, like you mentioned earlier about like listening to what people are wanting and then putting that package together. And it's like, you're finding your customer, right? You're finding your ideal customer. And it doesn't, it happens over time. You can't just like walk into start a program and like build the perfect thing, right? It doesn't happen. Like even us with SBA, our like offer stack has evolved pretty much every year. It's grown and changed and adjusted and tweaked, and we're like constantly tweaking it to make it the like and better and better and better and more specific to the people we're trying to attract. And that happens with you guys as well. And I think the other thing too, knowing from our last call that we had, is just really getting that focus dialed in on like who exactly specifically, not
for that.
exactly, not everyone in the tax industry with a credit card and a pulse. It's like, no. Who is the specific ERO, the preparer, whoever it is that I want to work with, and what exactly is that program that all of these people need, right? And then when you get like just completely dialed in, you become that first choice because they see everything that you have, and it's like, this is exactly what I want. So you guys are. I mean, again, there's one element where it's like, well, you keep what you're doing because it clearly isn't broken, but you guys have already seen it in your business. The more you look back, you're like, let's actually look at some numbers. Let's actually see what's going on and go, okay, this is really where we should focus. Let's just double down on this and then scale the hell out of it. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So marketing and strategy wise, like you guys, like Baldeep said, you guys are really good on that. Are you guys open to sharing a little bit of numbers? I mean, we don't have to give away all the numbers, but do you guys want to do you know what your revenue is looking like this season?
Do you want to? I have no freaking idea, and I don't care. Not that I don't care, but I just have no idea. That is not. I literally don't look at the numbers until it's time to get a report. I think Shana looks at them a lot, but I don't. Like I don't
be thinking about it until after the fact. I'm like, dang, I got to run these reports real quick.
That's fair. Well, are you guys open? Like, can we do a little bit of math? It's not going to be like 100% accurate, but is it cool? You guys okay with that?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Fine.
I don't know if Baldeep, if you had it pulled up. I'll do some quick,
you could do some back and napkins.
Very, very ballpark-ish, but
I mean, I know the exact numbers.
Yeah, Baldeep's got probably the exact numbers.
I know the exact amount of money you're going to get deposited very soon, but we won't go that.
So roughly, just roughly, it's like over just on like, this is like transmission and service bureau fees off the volume. Roughly looking at it's well over like $200,000.
Okay, did pretty good.
Is that?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That brings a smile.
Don't ask me is that because I have no idea.
Yeah, well, including service bureau fees. Including service bureau fees, yeah, it's over that number.
Yeah. And then there's also the rebates as well, which I didn't factor in there as well. So that's why I was like, it's going to be well over that. So yeah, that's not bad. You guys got a solid service bureau going, right? Multiple six figures. And now knowing what you know now, right? Of like really dialing everything in and be like, okay, this is exactly who we want to go after because they're the ones bringing the volume. They're the ones who are actually doing the work, right? Actually implementing what you guys teach. You just hone in on that. And it's like, let's double this number again next year. There's no reason why you can't do that, especially between the two of you, right? Really getting super focused and clear on that. It's like doubling again, I think is easily achievable. So that's solid. Awesome. So let's see. Is there anything in particular? I like to always ask a little bit about the training. Obviously, you guys have been in for a little while now. You've kind of seen some of the progression, right? When we rolled out the 7-day launch and everything. Maybe just share your experience a little bit going through our training program, going through joining our coaching calls and things like that. What's been your experience? Was there any like major like key moments or big takeaways that you've gotten out of our training program?
Okay,
Shana, go ahead first. I'll lead you first.
Cause I'm starting over again since I didn't got my own login and all that. So what I did like the last one that we went through, I love how you actually broke everything down, putting packages together. That was good because it gave me a whole different idea of other things that I want to implement within our company. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. That was really cool. I like that you did that. You took the time to do that, to be exact. So there was other stuff too, but like that right there, that stuck out for me.
I love the fact that you said that. And you know why? Is because that one part is what the majority of people skip past. Not skip past, because you can't skip past it, but they watch it, but they don't do the work. right? They don't sit down and actually do that exercise. And that is like that you're creating your product. You're creating the thing that is going to build your entire business at the end of the day, right? Without that, without your offer, like you can't market it, you can't sell it. That means you have no customers to onboard. None of that other shit matters in the business, realistically, at the end of the day. If you don't know just what exactly are you selling, and it doesn't have to be written in stone, right? As you know, you can add to it, you can expand on it, you can always fine tune it and tweak it and improve it. But at the end of the day, it's like you need that first before you want to start moving forward into, okay, how do I now go and market and advertise? Because well, I don't even know what it is that I'm offering yet, or I don't have 100% clarity. But it also gives you that time to kind of, especially with you guys now, with where you've been at it a couple of years, you've had customers, you've heard what people are looking for, what they want. Now you can take all those ideas and be like, oh shit, let's add this as well. Let's add this training. Let's add this kind of program as well. So it helps you really build on it over the years. Yeah, Jasmine, how about yourself? Like any comments that you'd want to share on on going through the training?
I would say when I first got on the training platform, it was confusing to me, like, because I had never I was just trying to click through and figure out where I'm supposed to go. But,
Right.
but I think I'm one. I don't know how many of your other people do, but I would go through the training. I would go back through the training. Like, if I'm implementing something in our business, like, I'll try to search for it in a previous training. And I think I'm probably on like 80 to 90% of those 2 to 3 hour calls. So especially when it's like for example, like I know last week we went over kind of building that offer stack. And yeah, I've heard the call before, but as we're shifting what we're wanting to do, I felt it was important to hear that call again. So I like that we have those trainings, and that's what kind of influenced, and we'll talk about more of these later, but this is what influenced us to somewhat change how our trainings and how our software package is as far as what we're offering. So we kind of mirrored that and put it on the ERO scale versus, what y'all are servicing service bureaus. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Love it. And I want to tap into just one thing that you mentioned there as well, just because we heard on the last call, and I think we heard on the previous call and the previous call this week. And I know I mentioned on the last video. So if anyone is watching these videos back to back, there's a very common theme that pretty much everyone is saying on these calls. And these interviews are with our elite group, with a lot of you guys who are, the top producers. Everyone is saying a very similar thing, that when you go through the training, you don't just like never look at it again. You're going back and you're reviewing the training again. Right. And that's huge, is to always kind of keep going back through and just keep learning, keep improving. So I'm not going to rant too much. I kind of did it last call, but I just wanted to mention that because I'm just seeing this reoccurring theme. So if anyone is, maybe even our own members might be watching these interviews to learn a little bit more about everyone's success, go back through the training and go through it multiple times over. You're going to learn more and more every single time you do it. So that's awesome. Cool. So now one of the last kind of section we always like to ask about is support, right? That's huge in the industry. There's a lot of EROs who, are just, not getting the support they're looking for. There's a lot of other service bureaus that are in the industry that are not getting the support they need either. Can you guys share a little bit about your experience with our support platform? I mean, specifically like the ticketing and support with Service Bureau Accelerator. What's been that experience like? Obviously you guys seen we've got a team there now that's all helping out. Just share a little bit about your support experience with SBA.
and y'all tickets up. Every question, like I'm always on the tickets. And I do like, because I got some reminders today, but that's out of my control because I'm waiting on the sub service bills. But like I do like the automated reminders, or they let us know when the ticket is gonna close. Like I like that. It's really it's very helpful. Um and I like we actually mirrored that in our own ticket system. Um that we kind of like have the same, well, not all the same problems that they can ask, but for example, bank account update, like we broke it down what type of update, what type of ticket it is or support that they're needing, prioritizing high, regular, and low priority type stuff. So that on that end, it really helps because it kind of lets us know how we need to structure our.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, ticket categories are important when people actually fill them out, though.
Mhm.
That's the other thing, right? Do they select
I,
it?
well, I make it mandatory. Y'all's not mandatory.
Oh,
They
no,
can't.
it's mandatory, but just making sure they selected the right
Oh,
one,
okay.
right? Yeah. Where they're asking about software, but the category's training or something. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, selecting the right one.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So I mean, have you guys gone through, I think it was it 2 weeks ago or not? Okay. No, last week was the offers. And then like a month before that, we did the goal setting with the offers. Have
Mhm.
you guys kind of put your heads together and come up with your goal this year? Like, what are you guys looking at? What numbers are you looking to hit? Or is it just kind of like, have you done any of that stuff yet? You know what your goal is this upcoming season?
Shauna's face is not too convincing that she knows.
I
What
know.
she...
That's what I'm like, maybe not.
Jasmine probably did it, but I haven't did it. We haven't did it together.
Well, I did it on the call, so yeah.
Did on the call. Cool. What does that look like?
So, and we did kind of go over this, Shana. So we set a goal on how many resellers we wanted, how many service
Oh,
bureaus
yeah.
we wanted, and how many EROs we wanted. New, not current.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we've pretty much retained all of the EROs that were with
Nice.
us last year. So, so new, we don't want more than 10 resellers and service bureaus combined new. And we both agreed that the service bureaus combined, we didn't want more than like 7 of those. So we currently have 4. So we had a 7 service bureau goal, a 3 reseller goal. And then we had 18 EROs, kind of like, it's weird because some of them had multiple events, blah, blah, whatever. So we had about 18 EROs. And so we wanted to double that for the upcoming season, but 36 is like a random number, so we didn't go with that. So we just rounded up to 40 so that the 40 plus the 10 resellers and service bureaus combined would be 50. So
50.
50 new.
Okay. Okay, got it. Is now I'm just kind of curious just to understand. So like when you guys set that goal, was that just more like on the service bureau and reseller side, like as an example, because those are like smaller numbers that you want to like allow in. Is that just kind of a bandwidth thing
Yeah.
where you're like, hey, we just want to work because you know what you're gonna pour into them. So it's like we just kind of want to work with
Yeah.
this elite. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay.
And
And
because what we realized, I think I spoke with you, Ross, when we had our call, what we realized is we couldn't just drop people into being a service bureau. We failed horribly at that the first time. So I'm glad that person is with y'all now. But so so what we realized, it needed to be a step in between. So at least that year cushion where we can show them all the back end of being a service bureau and kind of wean them into that versus
Yeah.
just immediately going to be a service bureau. So that's why we had that kind of hybrid model in the middle.
got it.
Yeah, I
Got it.
think a lot of people overlook the challenges of not even the steps of like, hey, if they want, like the amount of time, energy, and effort it takes on you to support that when you don't have infrastructure built to support it. It is time consuming, and then when you realize the trade-off of your lower revenue per product for that time, it doesn't make sense. So that in between step would definitely help alleviate the support of that going
Yeah.
forward for sure.
Yeah.
So we're not putting people into service bureau until they're absolutely ready to like have our hands off of it. Like if you still need help with every little thing, that's why we have that reseller option.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. Now, for the service bureau and reseller, are you guys? Are you gonna leverage that more of kind of like a like I'll call it like a graduation thing, like from your EROs to move your
So we have a
EROs into
growth
that?
plan.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so then,
But
are
that's
you
only if they want to, because
only?
what
Yeah.
so what we kind of have for our EROs is almost like a fork in the road. Are you wanting to add more revenue by adding more services to your business, credit repair, business formate, all that other stuff? Maybe you don't really want to build a team. Maybe you don't want to be a service bureau. So we have a growth plan for those types of people versus those who want to build a team or sell software. And that's how their growth plan goes to like reseller or
Cool.
something like that.
Nice. Nice. And then will you offer the reseller or service bureau package publicly if there's someone who
We
asks
have.
about
We
it?
do.
You have? Okay,
Yeah.
you do.
But
Okay.
they do have to have an onboarding call.
Right. Yeah, for you to like to just really qualify them and make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just curious because it's like I could see that obviously as like the growth option, right? We're like, hey, which path do you want to go down? That's a great way to continue to have that available where your customers know that there's more further steps that they can go with you guys. So they're not kind of looking around, right? That's always a thing that comes up a lot is people like, oh, well, so and so left me. They went to some other programs. Like, well, it's because they were looking for the next step and you were gatekeeping them. Usually that's what it is, right? You're not giving the information. You're not showing them what the growth looks like. So that's really cool. You guys are implementing that. And then that also realistically, I mean, it's almost like you could be in a point where your whole objective on marketing everything is just bringing in the EROs. And if you literally just focus there, over time, you're going to have those people move up into reseller and service bureau because you're building like the top of funnel is your EROs.
Yeah, that's what we originally, well, that still is our top funnel, but we have a lot of people. Like I said, we're always like those second people, and they're like, I went to this person, I was supposed to be a service bureau, I was supposed to be getting all of this stuff, I didn't get it. So they're already in the service bureau or reseller mindset. So to push them back to an ERO really wouldn't make sense. So that's how we kind of came up with that option.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's perfect.
I do have a little comment because it's a lot of people out there that they want to jump off the porch and be a service bureau, but don't have what it takes, or they not producing. Like, okay, start off baby steps. That's why we like, let's do it. Let you be a reseller, but it can be a headache, especially when they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Say it like that.
No, I actually, well, I like the way that you guys are approaching that too, though, with having that reseller as kind of like, let's start you here first. Cause it's not that you're not gatekeeping them. You're just saying, hey, look, let's make
sure you can sell.
Yeah. Let's make sure you understand like basics, the 101 before going into the service bureau, where now you have to do all the bank, you got to do all this other back end stuff where it's like, let's just keep it crazy simple.
And that's how we explain it to them.
Yeah.
Pretty much the difference between reseller and service bureau for us is whether or not we do your enrollments for you.
Exactly.
Whether or not we handle all of the support for you. And so that's where we are with it. Now, what we did evolve our reseller program to for the upcoming year, which we'll talk about that too, is a co-branded reseller. And I'll just explain that. So we'll go purchase the sub-service bureau through the marketplace and brand it, because now in the industry, everybody wants their logo on something. Everybody want my software. Everybody, so like, okay, throw your bone, whatever. You can, but we know you're not ready to do all the enrollments. And that's why I was asking last time, Ross, like, is there a way that we can still have our login and just not give them a login to the account hub? Because now what we evolved to was a co-branded reseller. If they want their logo on it, we'll still handle all of the back end work. They'll have their little logo on the software, but it'll still, be split.
You're still operating. Yeah, you're still operating the service bureau.
And then they can see because one of the things with resellers as it was, they couldn't see offices and stuff like that. I mean, we found a way to do it in TaxSlayer with the groups and everything. Yeah. But now with the co-branded reseller option, they won't get account hub access, but they'll still get
Just look at their office.
software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that'll be great because it's like that. It's the vanity thing, right? Everyone wants their logo on it, but well, and the great thing too, right, is if you guys structure it that way, where you're actually creating that service bureau, is that in 1, 2, 3 years, whatever that time is, when they are then ready to become a service bureau and they're doing that growth, it's already there. You just hand it over to them, right? It's
that's
there. Yours now.
Kind of
Done.
And I ain't saying nothing, but I don't be seeing other service bureaus do what we do, but they be trying to pop like they do, but okay.
That part.
Well, that's gonna happen. And you know how many people say they sell the same thing we do, and then you see it, and it's just a bunch of fucking
and I'm
garbage.
like, okay, whatever.
So that happens.
It's just
all the
just
time.
1 2-hour Zoom includes everything that we do. It's like nah, not even close.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see people now. All of a sudden, they offering EROs every software they have. Like you can have both software. I didn't see that last year when we was doing it, but now all of a sudden people want to do it, and I said it. Yeah, I know it's on recording. I don't.
So what's the imitation is the highest form of flattery?
He's trying to hit it.
I know it's annoying, but yeah, it happens. It happens to
I'm
all of
just
us.
saying, everybody was pushing people to one software. And I was like, no, y'all can have access to both. You need access to both. Get access to both. Now all of a sudden everybody can have both. Okay, whatever.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
whatever.
mean,
Who says we don't start drama on our YouTube channels?
yeah, there you go. I mean,
All right,
we
there you
Oh,
go.
didn't.
this gonna be
We
a
didn't. It's Jasmine.
All right.
Awesome. Last question for you. Well, Baldeep has another question for you, but what my last question for both of you is, if someone's looking at joining the Service Bureau Accelerator, like you said, there's more and more options, right, to become a Service Bureau these days. But if someone's looking at joining Service Bureau Accelerator, what would you say to someone who's looking at jumping in this program, joining the community with you guys?
I think
Go
y'all
for it.
provide all of the support to really make you a successful service bureau, but you have to put the work in. Like if you're expecting someone to hold your hand through every little thing and you're not willing to put the effort, you just want to become a service bureau because everybody talks about back end fees and making all this money, then you might want to go elsewhere. Like, because this isn't the place for you. The Service Bureau Accelerator really exemplifies growth, action. You have to take action. It's very much, you have to be a self-starter and be self-sufficient. Like y'all give us all the tools, but if you just leave them in a toolbox, like the house not gonna get built. So you have to put in the work, you have to put in the effort.
Love it. I like that analogy. That was good. Shannon, do you have something? Do you want to add to that? You guys kind of both started at the same time.
It was pretty much the same thing. I said I would tell
Yeah.
everybody. I really just told somebody this recently. I'm like, you got a good. I say you with a good team right there. I say because I love from day one how y'all handle business off the back. Y'all acknowledge y'all. It's like some people just sign on service bureau, sign on people, and they don't know them from top to bottom. But y'all actually get to know the person. It's like starting a good relationship with them so they make them feel comfortable that they can trust you versus of I'm always calling, I'm always getting somebody else, or they don't even much know my name when they see me. Or no, you feel like it's at home. I feel comfortable here. That's what it felt like.
Awesome.
Love it.
All right, I got one final thing for you guys, then we'll wrap it up. One of the millions of people watching this on YouTube at home says, hey, I want to work with these ladies over here. How do they get in touch? How do they find you?
You can find us on all social media at Tax Moneybag. You can email us info@taxmoneybag.com. You can call us 877-2-TAXBAG. You can go to our website, www.taxmoneybag.com.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Cool.
Love it.
We'll go ahead and wrap it
I was
up.
about to
Go
say.
ahead.
I was about to say where you're doing the phone number. I'm like, no cell phones, no cell.
No,
they're
no
too smart for that.
That's your business line. That's perfect.
They're too smart for that. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in a few weeks at the convention.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.